What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hart DFS, and today we have another NBA slate breakdown for the Draftkings playoffs. We have a 3-game slate today. The Nets and Celtics, Raptors and 76ers, and then Jazz and Mavericks. Before I get into it, I just want to say if you're new to the channel, make sure to follow me on Twitter at HartDFS. Also, like, subscribe, comment. Do appreciate all the support. Doing a giveaway once I hit 500 YouTube subscribers and 300 plus Twitter followers. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, just because yesterday I obviously didn't have an NBA prize pick video out during the middle of the day, and so I was putting up my plays on Twitter. Went 9 out of 10 on the first 2 slates, as you guys can see. Went with the Bulls game, went with these 5, got 4 out of 5. Tomorrow almost hit, and then got that 5 out of 5 with the Denver game. Jokic, Curry, Barton, Thompson, and Aaron Gordon. So a great day yesterday. Made a good amount of money, so definitely make sure to follow me there at HartDFS. And now let's get into the breakdown for today. It's going to be a pretty quick one, these playoff games. I'm going to start making quicker videos just so you guys can see the core pretty fast and hear my thoughts. But Boston, Brooklyn, we know it's been 3 straight games of Brooklyn's defense just basically dominating the Nets players. It makes no sense, but really like JAYSON Tatum 9-5. Obviously, he's pretty much playing the whole game. Shot the ball almost 30 times last game, had a great game. So I don't mind him in the spot against Brooklyn. Rather get to Jaylen Brown just because of the price at 8,200. So I think 8,200 for Jaylen Brown in the spot today is great play on the Boston side. Don't mind getting to Marcus Smart at 6,300 or Al Horford. They look like decent plays. Robert Williams is just too limited with minutes. I expect him maybe to get closer to 20, max 25. So I don't really think he's in play as of right now. I think he came off the bench in that 3rd game. I do think they'll bring him off the bench once again, or if they start him, I don't think he's viable yet. At 5,500 just with the limited minutes he's playing. But that makes guys like Tice way less viable. White only got 14 minutes. Minutes have come down. Don't think you get there. Grant Williams, seeing some minutes, it's either he'll get a 30-point game just because he's hitting his threes, or he'll get you like 15 and 3,800. I don't think he'd go there. Pritchard, same with White. Their minutes are down. I just kind of think you get to Tatum or Brown, and then maybe take a shot on a guy like Marcus Smart or Al Horford if you're playing in the tournaments. Brooklyn side, I love KD and Kyrie. It's just one of those things. They've both been playing terrible in this series. I'm going to continue to keep going to the well with these guys. I mean, it's Kevin Durant and Kyrie. One of them is going to have a good game today, maybe both of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they both have a really good game today and the Nets finally win one. So I do like both of them today for me. Bruce Brown is always viable. He's really picked it up since that dud in the first game. But as you can see, he's pretty much been in the 40s fantasy point-wise. 6,500, I don't mind getting there. Maybe, I don't know if you can expect it today. I'd expect maybe 30, 35 fantasy points just because I do think KD and Kyrie are going to do a lot more today. I think they're finally going to win one, so we will see, but don't mind getting to him. I think I'd rather get to him over a guy like Marcus Morris, or not Marcus Morris, what's his name? Marcus Smart and Horford, but, I don't mind him at 6,500. Do like CLARKSON a little bit at 4,600, even in limited minutes, about 21. He still got you 25 fantasy points. Essentially, they like going to him over Drummond, so I don't mind getting there. Drummond just losing the minutes, not playing well in this series, so I don't think you get to go there. Seth Curry, you can always take a shot on, not shooting the ball a ton at all. Fantasy, he's shooting relevant. I can't even talk. He's only relevant if he's hitting his shots. He's not going to do much peripherally, so I don't think he'd get to there. Do you like GORAN as a spend up today or a spend down today? Only played 9 minutes the last game. I do expect, closer to 20 minutes out of him. He can, get you there, and at 3,600, it's not a bad person to take a shot on today. But I really think it's just, kind of got to lock in 1 or 2 of these Nets players. I do think it's a great bounce back spot for them today. Toronto, Philly, Van Fleet is out, so all the usage is going to go to Pascal, Gary Trent Jr., and then Scotty Barnes is kind of going to be the de facto point guard for them. Maybe they start a guy like Malik and Flynn, but I think we saw, early in the season when Van Fleet was out, or at the end of the season, they pretty much used Scotty Barnes as like a 6'8", 6'9" point guard. So don't mind him. Really like Pascal as well. He gets into like the high mid 30s usage wise. He's a great player. done really well against Philly in this series. So I do like going back to Pascal as well. OG, okay play for 6,700. You know, shooting the ball, playing the minutes, but I'd rather get to guys like Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., even though Gary Trent Jr. is, you know, scoring dependent when it comes to his shots. If he's not hitting his shots, he's going to be a little hard for him to get there. But he's almost getting, you know, 2 steals a game, which does help a bit as well. So I really like this Toronto side. Obviously, going to be very popular today. But I think one of the guys you did to lock in is Scotty Barnes. Came back, played 26 minutes, which you do like to see. Didn't shoot the ball a lot. And I don't know if you can expect that today, but I think you can expect a good amount of assists coming from Scotty Barnes, probably being the de facto point guard for today. So I think we start with him in the core as well. Don't mind getting to Gary Trent Jr. Everyone else, you know, Precious is playing the minutes. I just think, I don't think you to go there for him or Boucher. I think they're pretty much going to run their starting 5 of Pascal, Scotty, OG, Gary Trent, and then they'll probably split up the sentiments between Precious, Boucher, and Kem will get a tad minutes, but it's pretty much those 4 main guys are going to play about 40 minutes or more. Centers, though, with, you know, Precious and Boucher and Thad Young. I know Thad Young finally had a good game. You know, the 3 times I use him, 0, 4, and 2, and then he finally gets 35, so I guess he's in play today. I do think, you know, he played well last game, guarded Embiid pretty well. I do think they're going to run back with him, so I don't mind getting to him. 3,700 is some value today. But it's pretty much just, you know, the 4 main guys and Thad Young for me. Don't look at the centers for the Toronto side. Philly love Embiid 10-2. Hasn't been, you know, having his Embiid-like games in this series. But I do like the spot for him. I know he has a thumb injury, so I guess if you're a little scared of that, you don't have to go down. But I do like Harden 9,200. Way too cheap. You know, kind of get back to his normal type game. You know, 20 plus points, almost 10 plus assists. You know, some rebounds. Got 3 blocks, which did help his fantasy points out. But playing the minutes, 9,200 is just seems like a decent price for him. He just hasn't been that aggressive for some reason. Tobias Harris playing well recently. If you want to go there, you can. Not really feeling it. Rather get to a guy like Maxey, who kind of has like a higher ceiling but a lower floor. And then I don't think you get to go to anyone else on the side. It's pretty much just the starters for the Philly side. And then Utah and Dallas. Donovan Mitchell, prices come up. Still an okay play. You know, averaging about 30 points per game in the playoffs, but not doing the peripherals much, so I don't think I'd get there. Gobert's prices come down. Doesn't do much offensively. It's getting those rebounds. It looks like an okay play at 7,100. Bogdan at 5,800. Price hasn't changed much. Low scoring dependent, but as you can see, he can get, you know, close to 40 fantasy points per game, so I don't mind him at 5,800. Mike Conley came back down to Mike Conley. 24 minutes, only 15 fantasy points. I think the guy I do have interest, you know, playing is Jordan Clarkson. Only 4,700. Minutes are going back up. He's getting more aggressive. He's scoring dependent, but 4,700 for a microwave type shooter in a spot they really need to win. I do like him a good amount at 4,700 today. And that pretty much does it for me on the Utah side. Dallas side, love Luka, 10-6. Came back, played 34 minutes. Had almost, you know, a typical Luka game, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. I expect him to shoot the ball even more this game, probably closer to his normal amount of like 25-ish. I do expect, you know, him to get more assists as well. So I do really like Luka in the spot. He's in my core for today. But I do think the mid-range route is going to be the way to go today. I mean, you can get to Luka if you want, but I think just trying to get as many as those Raptors, you know, 7 to 8, 9K guys in as you can today. I think that's the key. Brunson looks okay at 7,200. Luka being back kind of shifts Brunson just more of like a scoring role. Same with Dinwiddie. So I don't really think you get to either one of them. I think I'd prefer Dinwiddie over Brunson just because I think Dinwiddie will come off the bench and does have a little bit more value coming off the bench compared to Brunson, who's going to be starting alongside Luka. Finney Smith and Bullock will, you know, pretty much play the whole game, but they're just kind of not really relevant just because they're kind of capped at like 30 fantasy points or less. So it's not bad at, you know, their prices, but you want more ceiling, especially if you're playing in tournament type settings or tournaments. Maxi Kleber minutes came down a bit. You know, I don't mind getting there at 4,300. Powell does become a little bit more relevant with Luka just because of the pick and roll, but I still think I'd rather get to, I guess they're kind of even for me now in this spot. I don't know if it gets either one of them, maybe Powell, just because he's cheaper, but I think, you know, the favorite play in this Dallas is Luka. Utah side is Jordan Clarkson and then Donovan Mitchell. Really love the Toronto Raptors guys. You know, they're going to be super popular. And then I do like going back to the Nets guys. I know they really haven't been popular. Maybe they will be today, but I don't think they will. It's just everyone's scared of that Boston defense. I do think the Nets will finally win today. But this is kind of what the core is looking like for today. Definitely make sure to follow me on Twitter. I will be updating my core before the slate locks. But really like Clarkson, Barnes, Luka, and Brown to build around. It does leave you with, you know, over 5K to throw in some other guys to support that. So make sure to follow me, Twitter, HeartDFS, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a little bit for my NBA prize pick video. Peace.